So in this video I'll try to take a look at how to do Manifold Walk Caustics in Renderman. So this is an optimized version of how to do these things. It will be able to create sharper and nicer results quicker. So this is an example I did recently. Also have like this small thing I did just at low resolution, but just to give you an idea of what is possible. So yeah, let's pop over into Maya. So we have this. Oh, alright, yeah, I changed the resolution. That's probably why it freaked out. So I created this little scene with a couple of models and some yeah. And I'll just turn this off. This is part of this. Oh, no mind. I created a scene with these couple of objects and a plane. Like this. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll start adding some materials to it. And for this, I'll just use glass material for these three. So just go into the Renderman preset here and find glass and just clear glass and assign that. And for this, I'll just assign a standard PXR shader. So this is a standard PXR shader, as you can see, and it's just a sort of white thing, and these are just standard glass shaders, as Renderman likes to do it. And let's just set the renderer. Make sure it's loaded. Go to, oh god, I can see that I dropped the resolution. Okay. So the basic thing here is PXR path tracer. That's the default one. And if I render it with this, I'll just go. I should get this, and it will look like this. So this is just the default lighting thing that Maya does. So let's add some light. So it just needs to realize I quit the render. Quit. I want to add see the distant light. I noticed it has some funny issues, so I'll stay clear of that. But let's go with the rectangle light and just go to view. Look through selected here, and just pop up and maybe do this sort of thing. Back into my perspective, and then do another render. Let's see what we get. Okay, it's all dark. That's good. That has to do with the intensity. So maybe I should just stop that, go to the IPR, and just pop this up a bit. Come on. Yes, I cancelled. Yeah, it sort of realized I cancelled. So I just pop this up to 100. And I do an IPR. And let's see. Yeah, we're starting to get something. What about 1000? I actually set this window to stay on top. 1000 is good. I just need to whirl my scene around because it's the other side that is interesting for what we're doing. So something like that. But yeah, there we go. So we have this. And that is sort of the default look. So if we want to create sort of caustics look, we used to have to use the VCM integrator. So if we use this, and if we wanted to make it look good, we had to use photon guiding, but we're not using that. Let's see what happens if we render with that. Get a little bit more interesting things. We get some stuff down here. Let's just go pop this over here. It should be sort of done. Let's just get rid of that. There. So you can see if I look at these two versions, this one starts to generate some interesting light effects around here. So something is going on. This one still looks a bit boring, but never mind. Let's have a look at what our light source does. Come on, quit. I pressed escape. Come on. Yeah, there we go. So as we look at this, there, we can see that we have different settings here, and the shadows are set to enable and thin shadows. Thin shadows look boring. So when we have this sort of look, that's typically thin shadows. So if we turn that off and then just start another render, you can see it starts to look much more interesting. And thin shadows has to do with the way it handles the look of the shadows. Now the way that VCM works with photons, we need to really use a lot of time to make this converge to give us a nice sharp result, or we can help it along by using some settings here. So if this is really low res for some reason. Maybe it's because I'm usually running at 4K. But one of the things you can do when you create this light is that you can sort of optimize the light going in the correct direction by photons optimization. So in here we have like this photon guiding, and you can put in a bounding box, and it'll sort of depending on your settings for the photon guiding, it will concentrate the work it's doing in this area. But there is a way that is easier to make this look good in a fast way, and that has to do with the Unified integrator. UBBRP, I think it was used to be called, and it's sort of getting in the right direction now. So if we choose that and we'll do a render, you can see it looks much the same. But it is better. So this one was like 40 seconds. This one will be about the same. Go away. Sort of the same time it'll last for this one. Stop. And let's go in here. So you can see I set it to Unified, and we get the same result basically. Maybe Unified looks a little more interesting at the top here, definitely. But the refractive effect is basically the same. So the trick here is that first of all, you need to go to your light source. Oh, this is really small. And you need to make sure that you have in your advanced for shadows, you have Manifold Walk enabled. So that is the first thing. The next thing is that on your transmissive materials, so in this case the glass, you need to go to the glass setting, and in advanced you need to turn on enable Manifold Walk. And finally, on the surface receiving the caustic effect, you need to not turn on Manifold Walk, you need to go to the global settings and turn on enable manifold exploration. So, okay, so let's see what happens now. See, it looks much the same still. So we need one more thing. So this is basically the same. In the render settings, cancel render. Yeah. There are this setting down here that is called enable manifold walk. So we turn that on and we'll try again. And now you can see that something is starting to happen. You can see that there's a big difference between this, which is sort of like a blurred version of this, and some of these, the reason why some of these look a little edgy might actually be down to the geometry of this, because it's getting more controlled or more accurate, if you like. And you can see that the render is actually working through this quite fast. Let's just stop this. And there's also in the settings, come on, in the settings, there we go, there's the ability to set the settings here to either on or, so the explanation here is you have unidirectional path tracing, which is basically the same as path tracer, bidirectional, that is a bit like VCM, photons, or a mix between. So as I read this is what we want. This is like the new fancy thing. Let's try that. It looks much the same, but it's probably a little better at it. Now I haven't changed any of the like depth settings or anything, so I probably should do that. Also, maybe I should add a bit of color to my glass. So instead of glass here, maybe I'll make one of them some sort of a colored thing. So maybe let's grab the sphere here and go and grab some liquids like whiskey, and of course I need to turn on, oh, not that one, I need to turn on Manifold Walk. So let's see what happens now. And with that, and then, oops. You see that I get the color bleeding through the effect. So that's just a quick guide into how to get started using manifold walks. So the important thing here is, first of all, yeah, come on, I escape the render. Then first thing is use the PXRUnified. Choose one of the bottom two of these, would be my guide. Turn on enable Manifold Walk. Actually, if you turn up number of interfaces and iterations, you'll get a little more bang for your buck. So let's go something like that, just for fun. On your light, make sure you turn on Manifold Walk in the advanced section. So that's down a bit below shadows. Turn on Manifold Walk. I'd turn off thin shadows, although if you turn that on, it'll work just fine. On your material, the transmissive material, turn on enable Manifold Walk in the advanced section of the glass section. And on the receiving surface, turn on enable manifold exploration in the global section. And that is basically what you need to do to make it create these effects. As you can see now, I turned up some of these effects and I'm actually getting a little more getting more of an effect in this area. So more light is getting through. It's actually looking, let's see, can I, oh, I zoomed in a little bit. That's actually unfortunate. I can't look at it exactly the same. But as you can see, it starts to create a quite nice effect here. And this actually creates quite a nice strong effect. Let's actually, while we're at it, let's try to recreate this one. I can just show you how that was done. It was actually done quite fast. I'll just end this, discard, there, just make a new scene. It is a bit annoying that it takes so long to realize that I escaped the render. Okay, so in here, just create a polygon plane. Just make it nice and big, like so. Give it a bunch of subdivisions. In this case, that would be the FX tab, bus, editor, create ocean. Should be more or less it, shouldn't it? I think so. And let's see. Yeah, there we go. So we're getting this surface thing. Let's make this slightly more. Maybe, oh, that's a little extreme. Let's go with this and make the height a little more. Give it a little bit of horizontal. So, and then create a box. Create a polygon cube. Top view. Let's make it like so. Look pretty good. It's a bit high. Just go and grab a face. Ooh. What is it? This is not. Did I make it? I made a NURBS cube. Ah, okay. Polygon cube. There. There. Face. Grab. Go. There. Let's go extrude. Like so. Good. So, just add a PXR surface to that. Just for this one, just go PXR water, like so. And then we need to add a light source. Let's go. Actually, we can try with a distant light for this one. It may actually work quite nicely. I just found that I had some issues with it for some of the effects. Okay, let's see how this looks. We'll go underwater like so, and just go away with that. Oh, and just let's see. Let's try and do a render. Probably need to up the. Oh, it changed to Arnold. Don't do that. And there we go. Okay, so you can see this looks pretty boring. Nothing interesting going on. So now we're going to jump into our render settings. Make sure that we have the unified on. Just put it on this. Enable manifold walk. Maybe turn this up a bit. Maybe set this to 4. Should be fine. Go to the light source. Go to advanced. Turn off thin. Turn on manifold walk. Go to the shader here. Turn on explore manifold walk. Get this one. Go and set the glass to enable manifold walk. Okay. Let's see what happens. Let's go render. Stuff happens. Looks good. I just need to make sure that my camera sees a little bit more. So, oh, come on, stop. There we go. Change the angle of view a bit. So let's see, what are we? This is what we're seeing. Like so. Good. Maybe bump up the light source intensity here. Maybe add a 0 here. So. And yeah, let's see what happens. And as you can see, we have these nice caustic effects through the light right off the bat. And this looks pretty good. I mean, if I was to do this with VCM, it would be a bit blurry. If I would turn off, come on, escape. If I were to set this to VCM and then just let it go, you can see it takes a lot longer to converge, and the result here will be a lot less satisfying. So I can just let it render for a second here. Yeah, you get a little bit of it, but it's the big difference here is the manifold walk. And of course we can change the color of the surface and things like that. So I turn it back to unified, and we have the manifold walk on, and maybe for the water here I can change the specular color here, the fraction color, maybe make it slightly bluish, and then let's see what happens. So yeah, you get a nice light in the pool effect. nice and quickly. Actually, I can actually see the tessellation of the surface. As you can see, it's quite visible here. So maybe we should just go in here and tell it to use Renderman subdivisions. So let's see, can we put it on this one? Yeah, there. Get more cloud, and let's see if that fixes it. Yeah, we get this nice surface effect here, so there's no boxy results anymore. So yeah, that's it for how to do Manifold Walk. Obviously I did this other thing with the whiskey image I showed you earlier, which was I'll just find it here. So yeah, as you can see, this image has some rather nice and sharp caustic effects coming from the liquid and the glass, and to get this sharp effect using VCM, you'd need to use this bounding box trick, and you'd only be able to get it in the bounding box area, or you would have to use like a crazy amount of time getting it to converge to this. But yeah, so that's it for this video, and I hope you can use this for your own images. So good luck with that.